Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of What's Happening Now. As always, remember to like, share, and comment on this broadcast live. There could be some information not only useful to yourself, but perhaps to a family member or a friend. As always, tonight's broadcast is being brought to you by Hello Guest Screen. Hello Guest Screen offers an easy way to personalize your Airbnb properties, TV screens with custom images and dynamic calendar-driven guest information with all the essential information needed upon arrival. And as I tell everybody, I may not have an Airbnb, but I do use Hello Guest Screen here at the center. It offers a great presentation when you're having events, when we're doing our financial literacy classes, or we're doing graduation events for our entrepreneurship. So that has been awesome. We just did a great introduction to entrepreneurship with the Jack and Jill high school students over the weekend. They were very receptive to the class. They loved it. They enjoyed what we was putting out. And I think we actually convinced a few of those high school students to really get started and start their entrepreneur journey while they are in high school. So tonight, as we're finishing up the month of October on breast cancer awareness, I got a special guest here tonight. I got Miss JoLanda Harris. She is the founder of LivOn Journey Camp, and she is here with one of her I should say guest as well, Miss Tamika, is it Fuzzle? Fuzell. So ladies, welcome. How are y'all doing?
Good, great.
So JoLanda, talk to us a little bit about LivOn. How did you get started with that? Where did you come up with that? What prompted you to start this organization?
I was hoping you wouldn't ask me that question, because every time someone asked me about how did I get started, there was like no direct decision about that. It was just something that was put in my spirit. It's just my purpose I think I've been given. And so from that, it was a seed that was planted within me, and it just started to grow. But LivOn Journey Camp is a camp for all cancer survivors.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 2-day haven where you can come and connect with other survivors, learn how to be a survivor. You can experience survivorship, get some guides and tools to use to help you live and thrive.
Outstanding. So, Miss Tamika, tell me, you are a cancer survivor yourself.
I am.
And how did you happen to link up with this amazing woman who come up with this camp idea?
It's her spirit. No, we actually know of each other.
Okay.
And so just knowing that she could be that support for me, that was that connection even more. So just like I said, with me being a breast cancer survivor and finding out, I knew the first person to call was Miss JoLanda.
Right.
And that's where our relationship started. So we have known each other for a while.
Okay. So, I had other guests on here who talked about breast cancer and cancer, both men and females.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that I find interesting about your camp, this isn't just your everyday, hey, let's go out here to the woods, pitch your tent, and go to camp. This is something a little bit more upscale,
Right.
Talk to us a little bit about that.
We're not roasting hot dogs and pitching a tent in the backyard. I don't rough it. It's a bougie camp. It's a luxury camp for cancer survivors because I want them to feel celebrated.
Right.
To know that they are better because of their cancer journey,
Right.
and they are loved and feel special. And that's what we do at the camp. It's 2 days of enrichment. Some of they get a very nice swag bag. All the meals are catered. They have a caterer that comes in and does a 4-course dinner.
What?
And they get a luxury stay at a hotel in Providence. We
Wow.
with Marriott. Yes, we treat cancer survivors like royalty because we are royalty.
Outstanding. So knowing her and knowing this camp, how did you feel in going through that camp? How did that make you feel?
I felt amazing.
Uh-huh.
It was somewhere where I could feel safe.
Right.
It was somewhere where I could relate. We all were talking about the same thing. It doesn't depend on what type of cancer. We all could relate. But I felt loved. It was just like, I'm getting a meal. I'm getting pampered. I'm getting a swag bag.
Right.
I mean, and it was just, I felt amazing leaving there.
That is awesome.
Both mental and physical.
That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Now you mentioned earlier when we was talking backstage, you actually said this isn't just for the ladies. Men could come to this camp as well. And you actually had one of the camps where you actually had all males during that camp. So how was that?
We had our first all-male camp in May. And it was just more than I could ever imagine. We had a guest coach that came in from Switzerland, Tom Gilry, and we had six. It's always a group of six. We have to keep it intimate group so that everybody can feel comfortable,
Right.
and able to open up and express themselves and talk and communicate if they feel like it. I always tell people your emotions may show up because you're here, but if you don't want to engage, you don't have to. But I haven't had anyone that was not engaged in my camp.
Wow.
But the first camp, it was just awesome. I think they thanked me for having a safe space for them to come.
Right.
And they were just awesome. I don't even know what better experience I could ever have than have the men to experience that and to share and be able to take part in that, for them to share that with me, because I was the only female there besides the caterer when she came in. But, for them to feel comfortable enough to do that, it was, and it takes a lot, I think, for women too, but especially for men, it takes a lot for them to kind of open up,
right?
Because there's not really a lot of platforms or spaces where they can come and share their feelings, because being a male, you feel like you're supposed to always protect and be macho, and you can't show your feelings. Supposed to hold it all together. So it was just awesome that they were able to come and express themselves.
Okay, all right. So we got a couple of questions here from one of the viewers already. Says, how much is the camp? One, and then says, is it held every October during Breast Cancer Awareness Month?
Okay, good question. There is no cost for the camp. We have sponsors.
Okay.
Russell Hill Cancer Foundation is one of our primary sponsors. And we've had First Missionary Baptist Church Foundation. We've had Venturi Aerospace, their Brighter Day Employee Fund. We've had a lot of different sponsors, but there is no cost for the camp.
Outstanding. So in line with the viewer's question as well, do you get members from out of state, or are they all in the state of Alabama?
No, we don't confine it just to the state of Alabama. Actually, we had from our male camp, we had a gentleman from Tennessee.
Okay.
And we've had even outside the Huntsville area, we have people from Birmingham, Atlanta that come to the camp. And the camp is not held only in October, because it's for all cancer survivors. So we have it all during the year, months of the year. We take off during November, December, and January.
Okay.
And in July. But and we rarely hold a camp in October because there's so much activity going on in October. And so, but we have camps where we have funding, and that's very important for us to, to have the funding to hold the camps. Our goal is to have 12 camps a year. And right now we're holding maybe about 5 camps, but we're going to get to 12.
So you mentioned that your camps are upscale bougie, like, do you take camps outside of Alabama? Like, would you say, like, you know what, we're going to do our camp next month, we're going to do our camp, but we're going to do it in Miami, or we're going to do it in California this time? Have you thought about that? Or is that on the platform to do something like that?
Yes, I thought about it. No, it's not. Because just like just like space camp, you can take space camp all over.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So Journey Camp is like space camp. It is very unique. And this is its home base. And this is the only place you can come for space camp. It's the only place you can come for LivOn Journey Camp. So we invite everybody to come here to Huntsville and experience LivOn Journey Camp.
Okay, all right. We got another question from the viewer. It says, what are your qualifications to attend the camp? So I imagine they're saying, do you have to be a survivor, or can you be actively going through chemo at that time?
Well, the camp is for cancer survivors. The reason we want you to finish your treatment is because you're not feeling very well.
Right.
From my own personal experience. So we want you to make sure that you're feeling good and that you're up to it. And so if you're metastatic, you can come to the camp. If you're chronic, you can come to the camp. If you have other, like maybe a hereditary type cancer, you're welcome to come to the camp. But we would like you to finish at least your first phase of treatment, because some people may have treatment for the rest of their lives. That's okay. But your first set of treatment, your initial treatment, we would like for you to go through that.
Okay. So, and aligns with her question, is there an age limit? Can, I don't know, a cancer survivor who's 15 come to camp?
The age limit is 18 and above.
18 and above.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes. We've had a 20-year-old and we've had a 79-year-old.
Right.
At the camp. So, and anywhere in between.
Wow. So, Tamika, let's talk a little bit about you. What was this like when you first got diagnosed and gone through chemo, and how was you being supported by your family and friends, or was there support, or was it kind of like standoffish?
No, I had a very great support team. I will say someone actually prayed, hey, I hope you see angels through your cancer treatments. And I will have to say my family was very supportive. JoLanda, I had other friends that were very, very supportive. So I've always had that support system. It was like a argument who's going to take me to treatment that day. So that made me feel good. So I've always had a support team during my treatments and through my cancer journey. Yes. Always.
Okay. So, and a couple of my broadcasts prior, I had a young gentleman in here who's also a cancer survivor, and one of the things he talked about was how he gets viewed of having cancer by his peers and what he thought they might think of him. As a female, when you run across a male that has cancer, as a cancer survivor, how do you address them? How do you treat them?
Oh, I have open arms, because we're all human.
Right.
We don't know what your life can change in the blink of an eye. So I'm always supportive of a male. So it doesn't matter if you're male or female. So I'm always going to ask, do you need anything?
Right.
Regardless of gender, what do you need? So I'm always going to be supportive, because it shouldn't be, because he's a male, it's going to be different. Cancer is cancer. So I don't look at any age or any race or any gender. So
when you talk about race and gender and the different demographics, in our community, sometimes males, we don't want to open up. We don't want to talk. Do you see it differently from our community versus other communities of cancer patients or cancer survivors like this? And do you think by us being closed in, we don't get as much support as we should?
I'll have to say, because most Black males, they do close in. I will have to say that going through cancer, though, and at CCI, you see all ages, all race. And it just kind of depends, I think, on that personality for you, because you have some people you can realize that they're standoffish. I mean, you can tell, hey, they don't want to be bothered. But you have some, I had a gentleman that we would go the same time, he would bring me a chicken and biscuit because he would see me. So it just kind of depends on that person, I think. But I think that Black males do need to learn to open up a little bit more, because it's okay. I had a friend who, her husband's friend was diagnosed, and he asked what I called him. I said, yeah. He didn't want to talk to anybody. And we had a great conversation.
Right.
It's not the end.
Right.
It's only the beginning.
Yes.
I think it's males across the board, but however, being a cancer patient and a volunteer, Ambassador Hope at Clearview Cancer Institute, like Tamika said, I see all races and ages of cancer, people with cancer patients and survivors. So I think it's the individual thing. Some people are much more open to talk. And I think it's even with females, some people are more open than others. For instance, in the male and female, when a woman has breast cancer, she may not be, feel as comfortable, to show herself after her breast cancer journey. And the males feel the same way.
Wow.
I found it out. The males feel the same way.
Wow.
If they're in a relationship, they don't, they don't want maybe to feel a little bit standoffish, or I want to say ashamed is a lack of a better word, but they feel that way too. The mental, emotional, spiritual things that you go through, because cancer is traumatic. because we're all human. It affects us the
Right.
the same way. So women always want to know what the men think, and the men want to know what the women think. Well, you're thinking the same thing.
We got another question up here. It says, how do you apply for admission and how are guests chosen? What is the criteria? Oh, that's a good question. So if you get if you're doing cohorts of 6, and what if all of a sudden people see this broadcast, and folks, please do share this with friends and family. They see it and they say, hey, I want to go to camp. Not all of a sudden you got 15 admissions. How do you choose who's going to come?
Well, we have a list that we have potential participants to add to a list.
Okay.
And not everybody's available at the same time.
Okay. Oh yeah.
So,
that's a good point.
your opportunities to get in could be, very great. So we have the list and we, call you or email you when there's an opening. We're going to a new system right now of an automated system where you can just go online and register. So that's going to be easy. You can pick which camp that you want to go to. So when it's full, you can maybe pick the next one if it's agreeable with your schedule.
Okay.
So that's going to be something that's coming up. So don't think that but our goal is to have 12 camps a year. So we're going to get to everybody. We are going to get to everybody. So you will have a chance to attend the camp. All
right. So we got another question here. It says, can someone volunteer to help at the camp that does not have cancer?
Of course. We had a lady that was there. We had a camp September the 27th and 28th. And she was not a cancer survivor or patient, never had cancer, no one in her family, but she just loved what we're doing. And she wanted to be supportive. And she's volunteered and she is wanting to come back to the next camp. She's already
wow.
If anyone else asks to volunteer, do not let them. She said, I want first dibs.
She's trying to keep that on lock. She wants that on lock. Okay,
right.
I'm not mad at her.
I had such a good time.
Right. So you mentioned also prior to us going live, we were talking, and one of the things you said, it kind of stuck with me. You talked about, when you was going through your treatment and you had that close knit with the hospitals and I think I can't remember what you called it when you was going there every day, but once you got to a certain level, you was basically kicked out, and now you just felt alone. Like, man, what do I do now? Where do I go? And that kind of what prompted this. So talk to us about that. How was that for you?
Well, doing my treatment, that was like my second home.
Right.
Yes. I have my house and I had CCI.
Right.
And the people in CCI became my family. And so when I rung the bell, they said, okay, you're a survivor. I'm like, yay. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, where do we go from here? And they were like, well, you're a survivor. See you. I'm like, is there a pamphlet? There's no brochure. They didn't do a TikTok about it. Nothing. Right. There was nothing about it. So I felt really lost. I felt left behind. I felt abandoned. I felt like, someone had kicked me out of my home. I didn't have anywhere to go. I felt like I felt a little homeless.
Right.
And so all that emotions that I had on top of being a survivor going through treatment, that just compounded everything.
Right.
So I had to take all that, process that. And through that process of me dealing with that and trying to find my way, that's how I came up with LivOn Journey Camp. And it's based on 5 principles or 5 paths that we use, that we teach at the camp, that's actually based on things that I think 5 paths or guides you can use anytime in your journey. And whether you're a 2-day survivor or a 2-week or 50-year survivor, you can still use those paths to help you along the way. And that's what I felt that I could share with people.
Right. Man, that is amazing. And I can only imagine what that would be like, because after being there for so long and meeting all those people and getting to know all those people, I mean, you're talking to them about their kids, your kids, and so forth. And now all of a sudden you're gone. You're out the door. You're like this. What was that like for you? Because I know you went through that. How did that affect you?
I mean, I have to agree with JoLanda. It was, well, what's next? There's no pamphlet. There's nothing to say, okay, don't eat this, don't do that, you can't take this. It's like things you have to find out just by I'll call my nurse. I'm like, hey, can I take this? Can I? So it is, you're left alone. It's just like that family, that second family,
Right.
you're by yourself because you
Wow.
don't see them anymore. Like JoLanda said, you're there every week or every 2 weeks, and you get to know them. They get to know you. You know how many children,
Right.
how many animals, pets, and you're left out there by yourself. You ring the bell, and it's like, now what do I do?
What do we do?
That's lost.
Right.
Yeah, you're lost.
So we got LivOn Journey Camp now, right? And viewers out there who's watching and know somebody who might be going through this or is a survivor, please share it with them. Let them know. How does one know now? So you're out. Y'all got kicked out the club. You're no longer part of CCI. Does CCI say, hey guys, once you ring that bell, here you go, call LivOn Journey and they can be your next family?
Not yet.
Not yet?
They
Okay.
will be. Soon.
Good.
Yeah. Soon. Working on that connection right now because I think they're in the healthcare system. There's a gap.
Right.
That needs to be filled, and not just CCI. Any cancer institute or hospital or anyone on oncology center, there is a gap in the healthcare system with that where when you become a survivor, there's nothing there for you because their specialty. I tell people, their specialty is to cure your cancer.
That's right.
Right.
Or to help you through cancer or through your journey and whatever they best do for you. And but they can't deal with the mess, the mental, emotional, spiritual part. And that's where I come in. And so with that gap, to get from there to LivOn Journey Camp is something that we're trying to build that bridge between the two so that we can get that connection going, not only with CCI, but with other oncology and cancer institutions here in the city. And we're looking for, even outside of the city, going state to state and, through the U.S.
Okay. So talking about state to state, you are the only certified cancer coach in the state of Alabama. This whole great state. You're the only one.
In this big state we have.
How does that happen? Why do we not have more people who are trying to strive to be what you're doing in this state to try to help other cancer survivors?
I don't know if it's something, a practice that's even maybe well known or that I won't say advertised, but people are aware of. I'm not sure if this is something that's probably new to the industry. But I went to get my certification at the Cancer Journey Institute. It's the only one that's certified by the ICF. Now, you may have some coaches who say they just work specifically with cancer patients and they say they're cancer coaches, but or they may go through a process and become a cancer coach. But from my institute, we are the only one. They are the only one who is certified by the ICF for cancer coaches.
Wow, that's amazing. Earlier, Tamika, you kind of made a comment when JoLanda was talking. She says, "Charles, what was it?" And you said, "Chemo brain." What is that?
Oh my God.
Talk to me about that. When you say that, what is going on there?
Oh, chemo brain will make you forget things. You will forget why you walked in a room. You will forget how to get to a store or someone.
Lord, I must have chemo brain. I'm telling you right now, because I was forgetting why I walked up front earlier. Like, why did I come up here?
Yes, chemo causes brain fog.
Wow.
Your treatment.
Yes,
it causes brain fog. It causes joint pains. It's a lot of things that fall under there that could possibly happen. But yeah, chemo brain is one of them, and that
it's real.
It's real.
It's a real thing. Just like my husband, when I have hot flashes, and plus the medication I'm on now. When you go through menopause, you have hot flashes, but the medication I'm on now, also the side effects, it's hot flashes.
Oh,
I know.
Yes.
I want one medicine to say you can lose weight, no hot flashes, and less stress. But that was not the case. However, so when I had my hot flashes. My first one, he was like, I have hot flash. Oh, you're okay. And then he touched me. He was like, oh no, you're not okay. So chemo brain, same thing.
Yes.
He was like, it is real. Yes, it's real.
It's
It's a real thing. And people, I joke about it sometimes. I could be mid-sentence.
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm sorry, I just forgot what I was getting ready to say. I forgot what we were doing.
Mhm.
Give me 1 second. Let's see if I can put together. If I don't, I say, okay, we just.
Girl, don't feel bad. I do that every day. And I ain't even taking chemo. I do that every day too. But I'm gonna say I'm gonna use it. Hey, I got chemo brain, so you can't fault me. You know.
We can use that with menopause,
Yes.
chemo brain, and old age. You can do anything you want to. You have me.
I know that's right, man. In your camp, along besides getting pampered and having those 5-course meals and staying in the top-notch hotels, do you offer education during that time?
Yes, and I want to say that the overnight stay is luxury, but rest. The reason for that is rest.
Yeah.
Okay,
rest is a key component for cancer survivors to heal.
Mm-hmm.
Rest is very crucial to your healing. And that's why we have the overnight stay. It is pampering, but I wasn't sure about that at first. I mean, I know that's what I wanted, but one night I asked one night after they said they came back the next morning, asked the lady, I said, how was your stay last night? I said, how are you, how are you doing this morning? She said, that was the first time I slept in a whole year.
Wow.
And I said, bingo. This is it. Okay, so don't doubt the overnight stay.
So with the overnight stay and the pampering, let me ask you this, and there could be a viewer watching this from here in the Huntsville area or wherever. If they want to say, hey, can I collab with you and offer my massage therapy to your cohorts when you're doing these things? I would like to offer these services to them as part of their healing, their resting, and just feeling loved.
Right. Well, we do have, I won't call it the educational part. It's just the knowledge part of the camp. We study the 5 paths, the Live pathway, and there's 5 paths that we go through. And we have a lot of activities.
Right.
They are so much fun. They're engaging. They help you. They're dexterous of the hand and the mind, where they all connect. We do one thing called grow through what you go through. Is where you take a filter, a coffee filter, and you write something that you want to work through or something you want to grow towards, and we put it in a pot, and then we plant a succulent in it, because succulents are resilient like survivors, and you plant that. And so when the succulent grows, the roots are going to go through that filter. So you're going to grow through whatever's holding you back, and you're going to grow towards whatever that you want to aspire to.
Wow.
So we have a lot of activities. And the answer to that question, they want to offer a service. Maybe we can put the card in their swag bag, but the camp is so filled with,
I can imagine,
with that. And then also err on the side of caution. When you go through treatment, some people aren't able to get certain services. I know one time I wasn't able to get a massage. Right. So I have to be very cautious in that area, but love to put that card or if there's a gift certificate in their swag bag, so they can have that opportunity to take it when they're able to.
All right. We got another question here from a viewer. Says, has there ever, to your knowledge, been any suggestion or discussion for spouses of cancer patients to have the equivalent or maternity leave, like how a lot of the companies allow males to take maternity leave? So I guess what you're saying, when you're going through your cancer and treatment, is there something that will allow the spouse to be there for you, that the job will allow them to take it and it count like their maternity leave? Do they have that? Do you know of?
My husband was able to take is it FMLA?
FMLA?
Chemo brain. Okay, FMLA. Is that right?
FMLA.
FMLA. When I was going through my cancer journey, so that's out there for the spouse also. Okay, which works to the equivalent of the situation of maternity leave.
All right. Got another question. Says, are you equipped to handle someone with a disability that has cancer?
Yes, depending on the type of disability. We're not wheelchair accessible right now,
Mhm.
but we've had people who have disabilities. They have canes or walkers that are able to attend the camp. But wheelchair accessibility right now is something that we do not have, but we're working on that.
Okay, all right. That is interesting. And again, folks, those who are viewers, please take time to share this live with someone that you might know who could be going through this and who might need the support of LivOn Journey Camp. So let me ask you this, and this is something I've been learning through this month of October that I knew nothing about. Cancer insurance. I never knew it was such a thing.
Mm-hmm. It is.
I never knew it was a thing. So my question to you, in your opinions, I'm sure your opinions are going to be a little bit different because you are survivors of it. For someone who seems to be perfectly healthy, is this something that they should probably get now to have a preemptive strike, or can you get it once you get diagnosed, or does it change?
I would say that's a personal decision,
Mhm.
and I don't want to speak on that. Just like there might be other leave types out there besides FMLA. Before I retired, that was what was available to me. So
Right.
there may be other options, but I think that's a personal choice. I had looked into that at one time when I was healthy, young and vibrant, doing everything, and never in my wildest dream that I think I would ever have cancer,
Right.
or any illness. As a matter of fact, but I did have very good insurance, Blue Cross and Blue Shield, which it was not a cancer insurance. But it still was very good coverage for me. I would see where it would probably hurt, but that's not my area of expertise. So
Tamika, what's your thought on it?
I'm with JoLanda. I never thought that I would hear you have cancer. I think that is a personal thing to do. It's your choice if you would want, because I didn't think about it. I'm like, JoLanda, I was young and vibrant. Why would I think about cancer insurance?
Right.
It wasn't known in my family. So I think that's a personal choice if you would like to get cancer insurance or not, because I'm with JoLanda. I had Blue Cross Blue Shields and I was covered.
Right.
So I think that's a personal choice.
All right. So do you foresee in the near future or that your cohorts will grow beyond 6? Like if it becomes now, this is, this done aired and it's gone through all the United States, and all these people in Washington State are finding out about it, and Texas is finding about it, Louisiana, Pennsylvania, they're all seeing this now. And they're saying, and you're getting all these things like Tamika, I've gotten 55 applicants just yesterday alone. With the support of volunteers, do you think that you might grow it like this if you get more volunteers to help corral everybody together? Do you think you might grow it?
I want to say this. There are 18.1 million survivors in the world, and I plan to have each one of them come to Journey Camp. Okay. And so my first Journey Camp, I did a survey. And it was almost 3 years ago. And they said, keep it intimate, keep it at this number. And every survey I put out, every response I get, every question I read, I take it to heart. And even all the camps, I read them myself. They're just not out there just to say I have a survey.
Right.
I read every question personally. It's the intimacy of it. They say, why don't you just have it in a hotel conference room? No, there's no comfort in that.
Right.
And I want you to feel at home, be at home, and feel at home. That's all we have in our home. And I was a little, we were looking for Airbnbs, my husband and I, when we first started Journey Camp. We spent months and months. And so it was like the week before, we're like, what are we going to do? And he said, well, we got a pretty good house. Let's have it here. I'm like, are you kidding me? So we did. And this lady I did not know. I met her like 3 weeks before the camp. She'd been a survivor for 2 days. And she came and she said it felt like hours of prayer had been baked in the walls of your home. And I said, okay. He said, we're going to hold it right here.
Right.
Until something changes. So
outstanding. Got another question here. It says, Blue Cross Blue Shield was awesome during my journey. I didn't pay 1 cent out of pocket. So thankful I had them. Good point. And when she has, Ms. Friday has Blue Cross Blue Shield, going through her journey, and I don't know what type of insurance you had or you had insurance, but I'm sure there's insurance is out there that's not going to pay for everything. It's not going to
That's
pay
true.
That's
for
true.
certain medicines and things.
But you can also, I know at some cancer institutions, like at Cleveland Cancer Institute, you can also ask the counselors there. They have their programs
Mhm.
that doesn't matter what your income is, you can qualify for. It may be for your medication, for the cost of your treatment, the drugs for your treatment. So always ask. Don't be afraid to ask. What is it that you have
Right.
that can help me with the financial part of this?
Mhm.
And if you have great insurance, still ask.
Right.
Yes, still ask.
Okay, so I got a question for both of y'all on this one. October, breast cancer awareness month, cancer awareness month. How do we keep it going past October? How do we keep it out of people's minds that, oh, I don't need to think about cancer until October, when I should be thinking about cancer in December, and I should be thinking about it in January, February, March, April, May, June, July. How do we keep that momentum going so that it's not just we're doing these type of broadcasts in the month of October because it's breast cancer awareness month?
Well, I'm gonna just be a little transparent here. That's why I don't hold camp in October.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Even I was affected by breast cancer. The camp is for all cancer survivors. And we do a activity the first Sunday every June is National Cancer Survivor Day. We hold an event in Big Spring Park East the last couple of years to celebrate survivors and honor those who have lost the fight,
Right.
and encourage those who are going through. But my really dream, I just spoke with someone last week about this opportunity. I want to do something in February. It's World Cancer Month.
Okay.
And World Cancer Day is in February. Because all cancers. I'm going to tell you why. Because a journey camper that's what I call you when you go through journey camp. You come a journey camper. And we were at an event, and it was for all the breast cancer. They wanted everybody up front, and I said something and somebody else said something. And she was on the front row. She's an ovarian cancer survivor. And I looked at her face, and tears just filled my eyes, because I was like, she should be up here too. And she looked like I've been through the same struggle. And I just want everybody to be celebrated.
Right.
Because if you've gone through this experience, it's not one cancer or another cancer. All cancer is serious.
Right.
So I think it's a wonderful thing. Don't get me wrong. But my personal position is that I wish we could do something in February that acknowledges all cancer.
Right. You bring up a good point. It makes me think about it. Have you ever seen or heard of somebody cancer shaming? Meaning as in, oh, you don't have breast cancer. Like this, we're the breast cancer group. Like this, you only got colon cancer, or you got lung cancer, or that's just that. Have you ever seen something like that, or heard people doing that, or treating them less than? Because you always hear about breast cancer, but we don't really think about those who got lung cancer or throat cancer, or
because every cell has a cancer.
Right.
So I have never, because like JoLanda has just stated, cancer is cancer.
Right.
Doesn't matter. I don't care. It's all the cells in your body. There's a possibility it can become cancerous.
Right.
So yeah, no, I don't think, I've never met anyone that says my cancer is better than yours. So
Right.
And I don't want to meet
I don't want to meet anybody
I
like that,
don't
right?
want to meet anybody who's like that.
I want to compare.
Right.
If that, but I just feel that I don't think I felt like one shaming the other, but I do think there's some overshadowing as far as in a larger scale. And I just think that we can find a more common ground to celebrate, everything. Because when I see a lot of women that come up to celebrate breast cancer, if they're on a platform or something, and there's a man in the back who just went through prostate cancer or lung cancer, or maybe he is a breast cancer survivor, but they only call the ladies
Right.
and ask them to participate. They may call and say, hey, I want you to participate in this and that, but did they call the male?
Right.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Oh, for inclusion. We all should be all inclusive because it's when you look at it, this is my analogy. Cancer is like snow.
Hmm.
But when you pull the snowflake, no snowflake is the same.
Right.
It could be all the same. It could be 1 millimeter that's cut differently, and that makes your cancer different from everybody else, whether it's the kind or the type of
Exactly.
cancer you had. So cancer is an ugly thing. It doesn't matter what type you have. I don't. People say I've had cancer. I don't really care what you had. You had cancer.
You had cancer.
Come on to the camp.
Wow.
That's right.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
right.
I tell you what, ladies, I definitely appreciate you guys coming in here this evening and sharing your stories and talking about the camp. And hopefully those who are viewing, y'all can get this out and share it with some of your family members or friends that you might know who could be going through this and that can use the Live On Journey Camp, support and help like this, or just someone to talk to. Because in fact, we got our own here in the great state of Alabama, certified cancer coach like this. So you know I'm going to be putting her on to everybody. I say, all right, I already know the coach. I already got somebody for you to talk to. All right, ladies, anything you would like to say before we proceed to close?
Good, JoLanda, you.
JoLanda?
No, I just want to thank you. Please share Live On Journey Camp, and we work on grants, financial support. So please, if you know anyone who would like to help support Live On Journey Camp, you go to our website. It's www.liveonjourneycamp.org, and also email me if you want to get on the waiting list. Come on, you will get into the camp. I promise.
All right. Hey, I appreciate y'all guys for coming in. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We
Like
appreciate
this, and I wish the best for you all and everything that's going on with Live On Journey. And hopefully there's a lot of people who's going to watch this and start ringing your bell and say, hey, I need you, because they do need you. They do need your support. They do need what you are offering the community. And I love it. I think it's just great.
Thank you.
All right. So, hey, as always, ladies and gentlemen, remember your yesterday is not your today and your today is not your tomorrow. Good night.